Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. I was going to say, hope you had a good day in the market, but I doubt too many folks did today. Another down day. This thing is bouncing like a yo-yo. Yesterday we were up 1,200. Today we're down 900 and something. It's just very volatile right now. Again, a good time to make money, a good time to buy things, a good time to cost average. And we did a little bit of that today. Did a little cost averaging on one of the stocks in our portfolio. I want to talk to you a little bit about my strategy a little bit more tonight, and why I'm a pig and not a hog. Okay, and I want to show you some examples of what that means in a little spreadsheet I put together for us. So let's jump in there. Let's look at the portfolio first, and then we'll talk about that spreadsheet I was talking about, and then we'll take a look at the markets for tomorrow and see where we're going to start out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. You know, sometimes Fridays are a little rough, and so but last Friday, I think it was up last Friday, so we may have another update tomorrow since we had such a bad down day today. All right, so let's go ahead and look over our portfolios. Let me go ahead and pull that up. As you can see here, we were down 969 points today, so that's a huge drop. On the portfolio, we had a couple of green ones. The only green ones we had today were our Bitcoin GBTC. Bitcoin was up 8%, and then our Novavax again had a good day. So that thing is really looking good. I think what's moving that possibly is the fact that they did pass that budget addition for this coronavirus, and I think some of the thought out there is that Novavax would be one of those companies that may receive some of that funding. So if so, that's wonderful, and that'd be great news, and it will definitely pop probably if that news comes out and it's a decent amount of money. If it's not a decent amount of money, there might be some disappointment there, and then you might see it sell off a little bit or something. So we'll just play it by ear. I'm still waiting on that nano flu data. That's what I'm waiting on. I'm still holding what I've got. So we're going to hold that to probably, unless it just gets up there crazy one day. Today was 13%. It was hard to hold on to some of that, but I just held on to it because I'm waiting on the nano flu with what I've got left. I have sold, 2/3 of my position, so we're holding 1/3 for that nano flu news. Okay, so that's the portfolio. We did have the rest of them you can see here, percentages wise. Got 3%, 7% on X. X was down, hit pretty hard today. Maybe time to cost average some more on that one. We'll just have to check, see how far we're into that so far. MPC down 10%. I actually did do some cost averaging on that one today. I just really think it's getting beat up. OPEC meeting is tomorrow, I believe, so we'll just have to wait that out, see if they cut production. Should help MPC if it does. But they were down 10% today, and that's just no sense in that, I don't think. So I bought some of that today, cost average on that. I got some at 42, so we didn't miss it by too much. But it did go down to, I think it was 39, 39.63 today. So we missed it a little bit, but that's okay. I think that's going to go back up one day. Last time I sold my big lot, where I was cost averaging on things like that, I sold it at 68, I think it was. So we're going to trust that's going to get back up in the 60s one day. So we're going to hold it, pays the dividend, so not too worried about that one. Rest of them down 6 and 5%, 4%. So not a good day for our portfolio or the market. Okay. So let's talk about. I want to talk to you about this strategy that I have. As you can see here on your screen, just want to give you an idea of why I'm not a hog and I'm a pig. Okay. You'll see me sometimes sell things weekly at 3% gain. There's nothing wrong with a 3% gain weekly or even monthly. And I wanted to show you that with some numbers today. So take a look here. This is let's say you invested $100, and after the first month you got a 3% gain. So we're going to do it monthly first, just kind of take a look at what kind of interest you get here. But you can see when you do that each month, a 3% gain, it compounds, and at the end of a year, you'll have, instead of $100, you're going to have $142.58. Now that's a pretty good return. That's a 42.5% return for the year, just simply getting 3% on your money every month. Now that's not easy to do, but you can see it. We have these things where we've done it on several weeks, and it's not always the same stocks, but it's money that is getting a 3% gain every month at least, usually, or every week. Now your portfolio, again, goes up and down, up and down, up and down. That's why we don't worry about that portfolio going up and down, up and down. The market goes up and down. So your portfolio is always going to do the same thing the market does if you're in stocks. So, but when you're making money, when you're doing a trade, you want to make sure you're trading that money, making a trade for a gain, and you want to keep doing that over and over and over. And this is just doing it once a month. So take a look at this. Once a month, let's say you had, let's make this, instead of 103, let's say you did the same thing with a $1,000 investment. So your initial 3% would be $1,030. Now watch those numbers. Okay, so now if you did $1,000, 3% once a month, you have now got $1,425 at the end of the year. All right, so showing you this, you can see that you don't need a lot of money to invest to get started. Again, you don't need a whole lot of money. I mean, of course, some of these stocks are over $100, but if you get the right one, I'm trading a lot of them that are not over $100. So, but as you can see there, $100 investment, 3% at least every month, you're going to end up with $142, which is 42% return. And that is a fantastic return. CDs, you might get a CD right now that would pay you 2% for a whole year. And you'd have your money tied up and couldn't do nothing else with it. So that's kind of showing you that. Now let's take that a little bit further. And let's take that and make it weekly. Because you'll see me, I'm making trades, and my goal is every week to make a trade. And usually if I'm making a trade, I'm selling something for 3% or more usually. Okay, so let's take that out 52 weeks. Your $100 investment, you did it 52 weeks, you now have $465 at the end of the year. That is 465% return. If you just do that 3% every week, that's a 465% return. Now, you're not necessarily going to do this. I mean, you're not going to be able to get 3% every week. That's why I say my goal is to make a trade. But, and it depends how much trading you're doing, how many trades that you are being successful on. I mean, if you're doing $100, which I usually do more than 100, you're doing pretty good. You're ended up with $400 at the end of the year. If you're doing 1,000, you're going to end up with 4,000 something, right? If you're doing 10,000, you're going to end up with $46,000. If you can do that 3% on that money every week, you're not going to be able to do that, okay? But I just want you to think like that, because it's not bad to make 3% on your money, because if you can do it 12 times, that's still 42% on your money. If you can do it 12 times in the year, you don't have to do it once a month, but if you can make that trade 12 times in a year, and compound it, then you're going to end up with 42% gain. If you can only do it 6 times a year, look at that. If you can only do it 6 times a year, you're going to end up with a 19% gain. So that's what I want to show you is, it's all about making a trade. It's all about making that trade for the little bit of 3%. It's not about making it for 20% gain. Just if you're consistent and you just make that trade take that 3%, that's good money in a week. That's always good money. 3% a month's not bad money, as you can see. All right, so you can see 3% in a month, and you're going to end up with a 42% return. It's fantastic money if you just compound the trades, okay? And that's not impossible to do that 12 times a year with some money. Now you're not going to do it with every bit of money in your portfolio, because if you could, then we'd all be sitting pretty, right? But not a bad way to do things. Don't go for the kill on every stock. You're going to sell a stock, it's going to keep going up, but don't be upset about it, because you got a strategy, and your strategy is make 3% at least 12 times a year, and you're going to end up with a 42% gain on that money. Okay. Now you may not make 42% on your whole portfolio, like I said, but 42% on any money is pretty good return. Okay. So, and you do it enough times with different lots of money, you're going to have a really decent return on your complete portfolio. Now, it's not going to be 42% necessarily. You may end up with 20, or you may end up with 10%, but that's going to beat the market. If you can do 10% to 12% over the whole time of the year, you're doing pretty good. I'd take that. Right now, I'm retired. I would like to have 6% of my money, and that's not unachievable. Trust me. Been doing it 20 years, and I'm averaging over that. So that's not impossible to do. All right. So that's what I wanted. One of the main things I wanted to show you tonight. But let's go back, take a look at our markets for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Let's take a look and see what might be going on there in our markets. Rough day today, no doubt about it. Rough day today. You can see looks like Nikkei and Shanghai is not having a very good day either. So we could be in for a rough time again tomorrow. But let's take a look. See, they're down 2% here, over 1% here, 1% here, and 1% here. So yeah, that doesn't look good as far as tomorrow goes. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at oil, see what's going on with that. Oil is up just a tiny bit. Again, it does say here that oil drops as OPEC agrees on massive oil supply cut, but they're still waiting on Russia's approval here. So I guess we're going to wait and see how Russia comes about, and as long as they play the game too, that might even cause it to go up tomorrow. But right now, it looks like we're still waiting on the Russian news. All right, pre-market. Let's take a look at that pre-market. Dow's up just a little bit. I looked at this earlier, and it was up a little bit better than that, but it looks like it's going to start out probably somewhat flat unless things change between now and tomorrow. But do have a little bit of green. That's encouraging, but just barely green. So could be another rough day tomorrow. That's the way it goes sometimes. We did have a good day on our Novavax. Going to keep watching that. When the high that they got to the last time around was about, I think it was between 1775 and 18. So if it gets anywhere up there, I may have to unload some more. I'm trying to hold on to it to see how this funding is going to go, and see how that nano flu is going to come out here. But I don't know how quick they're going to get that announcement out. I thought it was going to be pretty soon here, but it looks like they might be dragging their feet with all this other stuff going on. So tomorrow what we're going to do is we're just going to watch some things. If it's another down day, I tried to get some QQQ today, some SPY. Another one a friend of mine was getting today was the DIA. I haven't purchased any of that. May get some of that. That's a Dow ETF. So I want to keep my money separate. I've got enough in QQQ now. We're not holding SPY. We sold out of that. But the VTI, we still have that. And that's getting pretty close to something I might possibly sell. QQQ's up there too. So could unload both of those tomorrow if we end up with a good day. But those are about the only two right now we've got in that sellable range, except for the Novavax I'm holding in the other account. So that's way up. So I could sell that right now and we'd be fine, but I'm just holding on to it. All right. So have a great day tomorrow. And I won't be in touch with you probably till about Saturday night. But have a great day tomorrow. Hope you have better luck tomorrow than we had today. But again, it's always opportunity, so just be looking for them. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. To subscribe, click the button in the right-hand corner. Thank you.